I'm slippery as hell. And yet, I'm reality. If you don't deal with me, then I'll deal with you, as the saying goes. So you could keep trying to pin me down to a definite focus, and for a while I'll let you do that, and then I move you along. Association, pre-speech exercise, or the what's that exercise? The pure process mode. You know, the exercise where you do the kind of Tai Chi movements, the formless movements, being aware of your body moving all the different parts, and you let your voice come out. Whatever comes out, go with your breathing. I'll do it right now, kind of like wiggling around this chair a little bit here. I'm doing the pure process mode. I'm being aware of my fingers moving, my facial muscles curling up, and my making noises coming out of my guts, and yeah. So I'm doing pure process mode here. I'm a pure process. And as I do it, I watch myself do it, and then I come to say, what's happening now? My fingers are kind of like, I'm hunched up. I'm kind of like an old gnarled up, an old fart here. I'm an old man. Yeah, fucking up your minds. You're all, you miserable vermin out there. Twisting. And then I let that stuffed up image, an inflated ego schmuck there, dissolve. Ooh. And now I'm back to the pure process mode again, watching my body move around. See, I let that. See, it's like the Zen thing. Am I a butterfly dreaming he's a Zen monk, or a Zen monk dreaming I'm a butterfly? So am I a gnarled up old fart dreaming I'm doing the pure process mode exercise, or am I the pure process mode exercise fantasizing a gnarled up old fart there? Well, that's the hybrid. That's the hybrid form, you know. The electron and the matter. You know, let's do it again just to see what comes out this time. Here I am. There's a pre-speech version of this exercise where you take an image and let the image be the lead track here. So let's see if I take an image. An image comes to mind of one of those women. I won't tell you which one it is, but if I focus on that image, let the sound go with the image. See, I did it then. What happened was I went through a number of different images there quickly. And so when I got to the sound, the sound became an opera singer. Opera singer. Association. Indiana. 1969, there I am in the opera chorus at Indiana University School of Music. And I have a little part in a little operetta called Johnny Skiki or something like that. And the director says to me, Ross Allen says to me, this is not a show about whatever the character is. In other words, I was stealing the show with my hamming around. He didn't like that at all. I had a one-line part of something to sing, and I made it into a whole masterpiece there. And the directly yells out, it's not a show about whatever the guy was. So I had to restrain it. Anyway, so opera singer. You see that came out of the void. Anyway, I demonstrated the process of halach v'shov, the naming of God as a theater experience, as a meditative process, pure process mode, pre-speech exercise. That's the theatrical form of these things. So maybe I'm getting somewhere today, because what's happening is I'm integrating a lot of different realities here, groping in the void, and seeing how a lot of different things come together. Look what we accomplished so far. We dealt with Maimonides' theory of prophecy. We dealt with Nachman of Breslav's likutei moharan, the idea of halach v'shov. We dealt with the burning bush. Dealt with hybrids and from science. 2 forms of a benzene molecule, where depending on where you put the double bonds. We dealt with a lot of different things here. The void, the groping, and the naming of the important concept of COVID, the word in Hebrew, Baruch Shem Kavod. Kavod means glory. Blessed is the name of the glory of God. But the glory, if you read the essay, glory, the root in Hebrew is kaved, kavod, meaning heaviness, tangibility, the contact boundary. So adding up all these inductively, each of these moments of awareness, and the namings of God, all different countenances, all different names, the services of God, or reality, or whatever you want to call it. All the naming, it's an integrative process, like an integral calculus, and that adds up to the glory of God. That's the contact boundary. So the glory of God is the infinite horizon that opens up, and we actually contact the moments one after the other of our existence and take them seriously, all the different realities of the situation. With the person we're with, if we're with a person, then we need to deal with that person, really deal with them. If a kid says, "Daddy, I'm hungry," got to deal with that kid. If your invalid brother says, "I'm lonely, I want to go somewhere else, live somewhere else," then I need to deal with that. Got to find him another nursing home. These are, got to, but at least I need to try to deal with his needs if I take him seriously, and deal with the relationship. So all these different moments, countenances, are all faces of God. They're all moments of the contact boundary, the glory of God, or the reality, the unfolding reality. So you see my whole shtick here, my whole shtickelich, the science, the philosophy, the religion, the art, the music, the theater, it's all, I am all one of a piece here, one thing. And if you're one of these dummies that has to see your life is sliced up into either it's this, or it's that, or it's that, or it's that, then my work is just totally over your head. Go sell shoes or something. But if you can appreciate the value of this spiritual search, and appreciate all different codes that different major thinkers and whatever tradition you're into have formulated these ideas into, like Nachman of Breslav, or Maimonides, or Jesus, we'd call them the station. Christians call it the stations of the cross, all these different moments of Christ's life. They project the whole thing onto him, but you don't need Christ. You could project it onto your own life. We're the messianic figure. This work today is in the messianic now. So there's some kind of a faith. The life force is going forward here, even if it's just going to the grave, that somehow or other that life is going on, the molecules have their motion, and the motion of the molecules is the same motion, partakes of the motion of the dialectic, the spiral motion of the dialectic, coming in and out of reality, in and out of focus, halach v'shov, the burning bush. It's all the same reality here, going phenomenology of the spirit, this process, reality search. The word. So again, this weird little bit of dream work I'm doing here, again, it's amazing. Every dream work session comes to the same word, the same word of God, the same process that unfolds. The wording, the naming. And that, in that sense, I am sort of doing a prophet function here. A vessel for the word. Okay? A vessel for the word. Again, what's the message? What's the existential message of this dream work? This guy, let's go back to the dream. There's a guy with his knack to make music with drumsticks, 2 drumsticks. And he has an assistant. And I identify, first of all, with being the assistant. And I'm in this front of this audience here that I don't know what the hell I'm doing in front of an audience, because I don't make much sense of the situation either. And then, yet I'm astounded when this guy pulls it off. Everybody in the audience is totally happy. Nobody's feeling ripped off. Even the concert hall is impressed. Moved. There's motion. Hey, look at that. Remember, at the concert hall, I originally said I am not moved. And here, because the movement that was happening was emotional movement. But here, when I'm dealing with existential movement, this unfolding dialectic, which has so many forms when I review my life, and the relationships of people and everything, that kind of emotion, in other words, emotion and motion here are really one thing. Emotion, which has depth, is also philosophical, dialectical motion, religious motion, spiritual motion. What Aristotle calls local motion. What Aristotle says, and this is what Maimonides quotes in the guide, one of the 26 principles that Maimonides brings in from Aristotle into the guide, the beginning of part 2 of the guide. The idea that motion from point A to point B is not really important motion. What's the important motion in reality is what he calls local motion. What is local motion? It's in one place and it's in a circle. So that's the dialectic, X minus X, Y. Y minus Y, Z. It's always each time go around a circle, from being into non-being, thingness, no thingness, halach v'shov, in and out of focus, pure process mode, thing comes together into a butterfly, now I'm the Zen monk, now I'm a butterfly, back and forth, no things. That dialectic that's always unfolding as a hybrid system where the 2 sides are always coexisting together.